You ever have someone come at you with a piece of paper, acting like it's the word of God, trying to tell you what you can and can't do on your own land? That's where this whole mess started for me. Just a quiet morning in October, the kind where the air is so crisp it feels like it could snap, and I'm out on my porch in Willow Creek, Tennessee, sipping coffee, ready to process a deer I'd bagged the day before. Then I see this crisp, white notice tucked under the wiper of my old Chevy truck, bold letters screaming Homeowners Association violation, like I'd committed some federal crime. My name's Tom Hargrove. I'm 67, retired from 35 years stringing power lines across this state, and I've been hunting these woods behind my house since I was a kid, back when my dad taught me how to track deer through the pines. This land, this 12-acre slice of heaven, it's been in my family forever, or at least it feels that way. My wife, Ellie, God rest her soul, and I bought it outright in '95, paid cash, got the survey done, iron stakes in the ground, the whole deal. So when I unfolded that paper and saw a $900 fine for unauthorized firearm discharge on community property, I just stood there, coffee going cold in my hand, feeling like someone had kicked me in the gut. Community property? That's my backyard they're talking about. I'm still staring at this nonsense when I hear this voice, sharp and chipper, like a knife wrapped in a smile. Morning, Tom. It's Karen Whitaker, the HOA president, strutting across my driveway in her fancy yoga gear, a little yappy dog on a leash that looks like it's one bad haircut away from being a mop. She's got this grin, like she's caught me stealing cookies from her jar. I trust you've seen the notice, she says, all sweet venom. I hold up the paper, try to keep my cool. Karen, this is a mistake. I was on my land, 200 yards past your little hiking trail. I own that patch of woods. She just shakes her head, like I'm some kid who doesn't know the rules. Tom, our official plat map clearly shows that trail and the woods behind it are HOA common grounds. Safety first, you know. We can't have guns going off where families hike. I'm no lawyer, but I know my land like I know the creases in my own hands. I point to the tree line, tell her my property line's way past their trail, and she just doubles down, leaning in close, voice low like she's letting me in on a secret. Pay the fine, Tom. Let's keep this civil. Next time, we'll have to call the sheriff. Then she walks off, her dog yipping, leaving me standing there with a piece of paper that feels like a slap across the face. I'm not mad, yet not fully, but there's this spark in my chest, this low hum of something waking up, something that says this isn't just about a fine. This is about someone trying to take what's mine. I go inside, slam the door a little harder than I mean to, and head straight for the old oak desk in my study. There's a cardboard tube in the bottom drawer, hasn't been touched in years, dusty as an old memory. I pop it open, unroll the 1995 survey map, the real one, stamped by the county, with my property lines drawn in clean, sharp ink. I lay it out on the kitchen table, next to my deed, and I trace the boundaries with my finger. There's my 12 acres, clear as day, and there's the woods where Karen's precious trail sits, right smack in the middle of my land. I'm staring at it, heart beating a little faster, when it hits me. Karen's talking about an official plat map, but I'm holding the real one right here. So what the hell is she looking at? The next day, Sunday, I'm out in my garage, sharpening my hunting knife, trying to clear my head, when I hear car doors plural. I look up, and here comes Karen, leading a pack like she's Patton marching into battle. She's got her clipboard, of course, and behind her is Mitch Conway, this wannabe tough guy who used to be a security guard at the mall, now the HOA's safety officer. Two others tag along, a twitchy guy named Greg who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else, and a woman, Linda, who's clutching a notepad like it's her lifeline. They don't knock, don't call, just waltz onto my property like they own it. Karen stops at the garage door, voice all official. Mr. Hargrove, we're conducting a routine safety inspection per HOA bylaws. I put down my knife, wipe my hands, and let the silence stretch. You're on my property, Karen. Uninvited. Mitch puffs up, his reflective vest gleaming like he's about to write me a ticket for existing. This is an official HOA action, sir, he says, eyeballing my workbench, where a box of 12-gauge shells sits for dove season. I don't argue, not yet. I just pull out my phone, hit record, and hold it up. For my records, I say, calm as I can manage. Karen's smile tightens, Greg looks at his shoes, and Mitch's tough guy act stumbles. They start their little inspection, pointing at a hairline crack in my siding from a storm 5 years back. Structural concern, Karen says, like it's a federal case. Then Mitch spots my bird feeder, the one Ellie and I built, where cardinals and finches are fighting over seeds. That's attracting vermin, he says, dead serious. It's creating a hostile environment. I almost laugh. A hostile bird feeder? They're making this up as they go. As they head back to their cars, I hear Karen mutter to Mitch, thinking I'm out of earshot. He's not the kind of neighbor we want here. My phone catches every word. That night, I fire off an email to the HOA board, citing their own rules about needing 48 hours notice for inspections and attaching a screenshot of my deed. I expect a response, maybe an apology. I get nothing, just silence. That's when I know this isn't just Karen being a control freak. There's something bigger going on. I can't sleep that night. I keep thinking about her words. Our official plat map. Where'd she get that map? I pull up the HOA's website, this clunky, outdated thing, and find a PDF labeled Willow Creek Estates Plat Map, 2018. I open it, and at first, it looks almost like my '95 survey. Same streets, same houses. But then I see the boundary line behind my property is different, shifted just enough to carve out the woods and label them HOA Common Area Protected Green Space. My pulse picks up. This isn't a mistake. This is a forgery. I pull up my survey next to theirs on my laptop, and the difference is glaring. They've redrawn the lines to steal my land, and they're using this fake map to justify it. I'm not a hothead, never have been, but this lights a fire in me. This isn't just about a fine anymore. It's about the truth, about someone thinking they can rewrite reality because they've got a clipboard and a title. I need proof, something ironclad, something the county can't ignore. That's when I call my nephew, Jake, a GIS tech for the city of Knoxville. Jake's a good kid, mid-30s, loves a puzzle, hates a bully. I tell him about the fake map, and before I can finish, he's like, "Uncle Tom, I'm coming over. Don't do anything till I get there. This is gonna be good." Jake shows up the next evening with his laptop and a drone case that looks like it could survive a war. We spread out my survey and the HOA's map on the kitchen table. He takes one look at their map and laughs. This is amateur hour. The font's wrong, the line weights don't match, it's a bad fake. He logs into the county's GIS portal, pulls up my property, and there it is in blue, my 12 acres, exactly as my survey shows. No HOA green space. Then he clicks on the parcel next to mine, the woods where their trail sits. The owner pops up, Pine Hollow LLC. I stare at the screen, and it hits me like a freight train. That's my LLC. Ellie and I set it up in 2007 when we bought that extra 5 acres at a tax auction for dirt cheap, just to keep developers off our backs. We've been paying taxes on it ever since. Never thought much of it, it was just more woods. I start laughing, a deep, belly laugh that feels like it's been bottled up for years. Karen's been fining me for hunting on my own land and hiking on another piece of my land, acting like she's queen of the forest. Jake's grinning ear to ear. This is better than a soap opera, Uncle Tom. He takes his drone up the next morning, flies the property line, records it all in high def with GPS coordinates burned into the footage. We find 2 of the original survey stakes, half buried but right where they're supposed to be. It's a slam dunk. Friday, I drive to the county clerk's office with a folder thick with proof, my deed, my survey, Jake's GIS screenshots, the drone footage. I file to have the land reposted under my LLC and apply for a fencing permit. No calls, no emails to Karen. I want this to hit her like a bolt from the blue. The permit comes through a week later, and I spend a day driving steel posts into the ground, hammering until my shoulders scream. I hang signs, big, red, impossible to miss signs, private property, no trespassing, hunting in progress. That last part's just for fun, but it feels good. Saturday morning. I'm up early, coffee in hand, blaze orange vest on, sitting in my kitchen with a view of the trailhead. Right on cue. Here comes Karen's hiking club, all matching athleisure, chatting away. They stop dead when they see the signs. Karen marches up, hands on hips, reading like she can will the words to change. Mitch is there, looking like a dog that lost its bone. I grab my empty rifle case, just for show, and stroll out to meet them. Karen's face is red as a beet. What is this, Tom? You can't do this. This is a community trail. I take a slow sip of coffee, let her stew. Morning, Karen. Nice day for a walk, just not here. This land's been mine since 2007. You're trespassing. She's practically shaking. We have a map. This is HOA property. I keep my voice low, steady, like I'm explaining something to a kid. You can't vote against a deed, Karen. Check the county records. It's all there. She pulls out her clipboard, scribbles a new fine $1,500 this time, for obstructing community access. She tries to shove it at me. I let it fall to the ground. That's harassment, I say, looking her dead in the eye. And I know what to do about that. Monday, I'm back at the county office, filing a harassment complaint. I hand over everything: the fines, the video of their fake inspection, the GIS data, the drone footage. The clerk, a woman who's seen it all, reads through it, her face getting darker with every page. She makes a few calls. 2 days later, the HOA gets a cease and desist letter from the county, ordering them to drop the fines and leave me alone. Then, like a gift from above, I get an anonymous email with a forwarded chain from Karen to her board. One line from her stands out. It doesn't matter if his survey's right. We need that land. He'll break eventually. That email spreads like wildfire. Neighbors who bought Karen's story about the dangerous hunter start whispering. Greg, the twitchy board member, quits first, then Linda. Karen's little empire is crumbling, and she knows it. But she's not done. A week later, I'm in my deer stand, just watching the woods, when I hear twigs snapping. It's Karen, sneaking through my property with bolt cutters, heading for my gate. The HOA brings a lawyer who rambles about community standards. I just lay out my folder: deed, survey, GIS data, tax records, drone footage. The hearing officer barely blinks. Mr. Hargroves LLC owns the land. The HOA's map is not a legal document. Case closed. I file a civil suit after that, not to get rich, but to make sure they never pull this again. They settle fast $10,000, which I use to install a heavy-duty gate and motion-activated cameras that feed to my phone. Karen's gone now. After her arrest, she took a plea: probation, a fine, a restraining order keeping her 500 feet from me or my land. Her house went up for sale, and I watched the moving truck pull away, feeling like a storm had finally passed. But this wasn't just about me. I kept thinking about others out there, getting pushed around by HOAs with fake maps and big egos. So, Jake and I built a website, knowyireland.com. It's simple, no ads, just a guide. Get your deed, check your county's GIS map, file for title verification if you need to. We even added template letters and a video showing how to use GIS tools. People started emailing: a farmer in Idaho, a couple in Georgia, a grandma in Ohio, all fighting their own Karens and winning. Here's the thing. I never wanted to be some crusader. I just wanted to hunt my woods, drink my coffee, and live my life. But when someone comes at you, trying to rewrite the truth, you don't back down. You get your facts, you stand your ground, and you fight smart. I'm sitting in my deer stand now, sun filtering through the pines, looking at a sign I carved years ago, something my grandpa used to say: "You don't own what you can't defend." I defended mine not with a gun, but with a deed, a drone, and the truth. What would you do if someone tried to take what's yours? Drop it in the comments, I'm curious. And if you've got your own HOA horror story, or maybe you think I went too far, let me know. This stuff stirs people up, and I want to hear where you stand.